Okay, so to start off with this week, we're going to start with the function library, which is consisting of the present value, future value, net present value, and the internal rate of return, which just kind of calculates them all together so you don't have to like put in all the coding separately. You can just do it all at once. So to start off, I just set it to put in a flowchart, and that's all together. And then just to get a better understanding and refresh my mind, I just kind of told it to do flowcharts and calculations like the coding for each one individually, and then I told it to put it all together as well, just so I could make sure I was doing it right and whatnot. But then on the complete financial function library, I originally ran into a couple of issues to start off with, just when it came to like it kept giving the word NUMPY, and so I kept having to take it out and then just kind of tweak it a little bit for it to actually work. And then also, I just kind of forgot to start off when it came to the IRR to put in a negative number. So that explains why there's a lot of just stuff on this one page. But as I can see, you can run it. And then I also just had it to give me an example scenario when it came to the IRR, because it helped me a little bit when it came to just checking to make sure I did it right. So this first one's going to be the present value, I believe, and I just put in some normal random numbers. And see, as you can tell, it gave 907.03. And then for this one, I'm just going to enter some more numbers, I believe, for the future value. And yeah, so it was 110.25. And then for this next one, put in number of periods and then the cash flow. So like, and to make sure it was negative, because that's what the problem I kept running into. It did get fixed though. And so the net present value is 503.31, and then the number of periods. So, and then as you can tell, the internal rate of return would be 2.08 for this little scenario right here. So that just kind of explains what I did for this portion of it. And so for the next one's the stock metrics. And for this one to start off, I just told to make another flow chart. As you can tell, it kind of is just a lot longer, but it's all in one straight line, so it's just going to be like more steps like that. And then for this Python code, I didn't really run into very many problems with this one. It was just more of like making sure that I ran it correctly. So when I ran this one, I kind of just made sure I had like some numbers to base it off of. So for this one, I'm just going to use the numbers that are over on the example run. So like 100, 102, 101, 105, and 110. And then as you can tell, the numbers are the exact same as the Python code itself. And then, so the next one's going to be the bond pricing. And the bond pricing, I start off with a flowchart again. This one's very similar to the stock metrics when it comes to the flowchart, just with like the amount of steps it is in a straight line, like not having to like do a loop or anything with it. And then I just told it to create code. And then whenever I did the code, I did run into the problem of the face value. It didn't really want to like cooperate with me, so I had to kind of figure it out and tweak it a little bit. But I did figure it out, and it did run smoothly as soon as I did. So for the face value, we can just say 1,000, and then the annual coupon rate, so we can just say 0.05, and then the number of years, just say 2, and then market interest, we'll just do 0.04. And then so the bond price for this would be 1018.86. And then so for the next one is the portfolio analysis. And then the portfolio analysis, I started out with another flowchart. This one was a little different. It ended up creating a loop, but it also created a different like type of flowchart, surprisingly. But it's just, I think, to just showcase it, but it could have just been in a straight line as well. And then I told it to create Python code and to just give me some different like qualifications for the code as well. And then I just kind of did that. And then I also had an example run for that one as well, just to make sure I was on the right track. So for this one, we're just going to do the example as well, just to show. So for this one, 2, and then we're just going to go with 100, 105, 110, and then 115. And then 0.6, and then for the next it's going to be 50, 52, 54, and 55, and then the next is 0.4. And then in this, these are the answers, and those are the answers as well. So that one, yes, is done as well. And then, so for the next one, the payment schedule with loan amortization, I started off with another one, and this one did have a really big loop as well. And then it just kind of went to an output, as controlled by the flowchart. And then I told that to take the flowchart and put it into coding. And then this one generated pretty well, and I didn't have any issues with this one. So for this one, we're just going to put the loan amount of 1,000, then an interest rate, let's just say 0.1, and then a loan term 2. And then as you can tell, it's going to give it monthly, the monthly payment, the interest, the principal, and the remaining balance. And then it just kind of goes through every single month for that one. And then the last one is going to be the risk metrics. So for the risk metrics, this one created a really interesting flowchart. It kind of went through like 2 different ones, but it's just kind of, or like one of them, but it just for some reason put it into 2 columns. And then I told it to make it into code, which it did, and then I just said to give some numbers to make sure I did it right. So I'm just gonna run this now and then enter the number. So we're just gonna do a number period of 2, and then we'll do 0.05, and then we'll do negative 0.02, and then the return we'll do 0.04 and negative 0.01, and then the risk-free rate we will put as a 0.02. And then as you can tell, there's the beta, the standard deviation, the Sharpe ratio, and then it gives the value at risk, it's a conditional value at risk. And yeah, so that is what I had for week 4. And yes.